Lecture 1: Why Self-Mastery is the Key to Reaching Your Goals, Part 2. 2. Learn to separate problems. I once coached a team where the CEO believed that the most important quality for a certain executive position was execution. However, after my evaluation, I discovered that this executive was skilled in problem-solving and handling people, but lacked execution abilities such as attention to detail and strict adherence to plans. On the contrary, he was a creative and adaptable person. The CEO asked me if we should replace him, which was a normal reaction. The executive himself was also confused, as my conclusion seemed like a death sentence to him. However, in the end, we did not replace him, and he did not become a strong executor. Nevertheless, the business continued to thrive. The last time I saw him, he was particularly happy and attributed the success to my help. You may be curious about what happened. At that time, I told him the story of David and Goliath from the Bible, which is a very famous story. The Philistines attacked the Israelites, and they sent a giant named Goliath, who was almost 3 meters tall, to challenge them. No one in Israel dared to fight him except for a young man named David, who was small in stature. This executive was very much like David, and the task of executing was the giant in his life, Goliath, with a huge disparity in strength between them. But in the end, David cut off Goliath's head. How did he do it? When David went to battle, King Saul of Israel gave him his best armor and sword. David tried them on but returned them to Saul because the armor was too heavy and hindered his movement, and the sword was not suitable for him. On the battlefield, he used a slingshot as his weapon and shot a stone into Goliath's forehead from a distance, giving him a fatal blow. What did David do right? In my opinion, he did 2 things right. Correspondingly, this executive also needs to do these 2 things. The first is separation. When we break down things and problems into clear categories, we can see the real resources and opportunities, and the answers will naturally emerge. Separation has 2 aspects, internal and external. Internal separation includes, first, getting rid of burdens, second, picking up resources. For David, getting rid of burdens meant abandoning the idea of having to wield a sword and spear. Picking up resources meant picking up weapons that were suitable for him, such as a slingshot and stones. What is the armor that this executive should get rid of? It is the expectation that he should be a person with strong planning and execution abilities. The reason is simple: he is not good at it, and if he insists on it, his true talent will be wasted. What weapon should he pick up? It is his strengths in thinking and handling people, and his ability to adapt to changing situations. This is where he should focus his efforts. After completing the internal separation, we can then focus on the external separation. External separation involves dissecting the pros and cons of a situation or separating the crucial from the less important aspects, in order to ask the right questions. This may sound simple, but it is often the key to problem solving. When facing Goliath, an ordinary person sees an unbeatable giant. However, the flip side of Goliath's immense strength is his lack of flexibility. If you can see this, you can find a breakthrough and use your advantages to overcome his strength. As for executives, if they ask themselves, how can I improve my execution to meet the CEO's expectations, they are doomed to fail. However, if they approach the problem from a different angle and separate the essence of the problem, such as, how can I use my strengths to meet the demands of execution in my work, then they have a chance of success. When we understand ourselves and ask the right questions, the answers become apparent. The final solution is for the executive to leverage their strengths, find subordinates who are good at execution, delegate specific follow-up tasks to them, and sit back to oversee the plan. Using their thinking skills, the executive can help their subordinates refine the entire plan and quickly adjust it when problems arise, while also changing the allocation of personnel. As an executive coach, one of my important tasks is to help clients separate through questioning. 3. Learn to utilize your support system. However, relying solely on your own limited resources is not enough. This brings me to my second point, finding your support system. This is the second thing that David did right. Have you ever wondered why others were afraid to stand up, while David dared to challenge the giant? David said, "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord." In this story, the Lord was David's support system, giving him the strength to face the giant. What is a support system? We will continue to mention this concept, and its most important use is to make up for our shortcomings, like a stepping stone, helping us to achieve what we cannot do on our own. A support system can be people, things, or systems. In the case of executives, after I reminded them, they realized that they could also use the CEO, who has rich execution experience, as a support system. When formulating plans or encountering problems, they listened to his opinions more and used the CEO's insights to further improve the quality of execution. In contrast, executives without separation or support systems are hardworking people who will never become execution experts no matter how hard they try. But now, they work with passion, achieve significant results, and have a very close relationship with the CEO. The outstanding managers I have seen, like us, are not perfect people. They are all lame and blind. But they honestly face their weaknesses, know how to smartly leverage their strengths, and find people or methods to support themselves. This is also why in foreign countries, CEOs and executives mostly have their own coaches, because coaches are professional support systems. Only those who are good at building their own support systems understand how to make the team support each other, and thus make the entire team work efficiently and happily. The underlying logic of this course is to start with yourself, go with the flow, and achieve separation of problems and finding your support system. You will find that when you do these two things well, not only will you become a happy and efficient manager, but your team will also become happy and efficient.